You have just entered the KBMOD podcast. Keyboard plus mouse or die.
Hello and welcome to episode, 68, the KBMOD podcast. We're up to the Jaromir Jagr Memorial episode. You might have noticed Scott is not doing the intro. Scott is currently
dead.
Sick, possibly dead.
Supposedly it's syphilis, we've heard.
Syphilis.
Yeah, we think it's syphilis. So, make sure to tweet Scott and ask, give him your condolences on the syphilis, and let him know that you're thinking about him. He will, he will appreciate it, I'm sure. He's going to the doctor tomorrow, so, maybe you can have some confirmation on the severity of said syphilis. So, all right, so I'm going to start with what we've been playing with the order I have on my little video screen.
I just adjusted my hue. Just saying.
Hold on real quick. We do have a guest. We do have a guest this week to replace Scott.
Yes, not a hard job, but we do have TetraNinja Nick here with us.
A plant guy.
AKA, face implanter guy.
This is the fellow who's passed out.
I still don't even remember that.
God, it was so good.
Adam just tweeted me the other day. He's like, "Do I get a consolation prize for throwing up in your car?" I'm like, "I don't even remember that, man." I'm sorry, but
yeah, puked. No, yeah, all right. I'll tell the story for those who haven't heard it. Many of you may know that I got super drunk at a Twitch party at PAX East and was thrown out. And that was where the "fuck you, cost me everything" tweet, which inevitably will be retweeted as I'm saying this.
I got this. Don't worry.
Came from. So they picked me up, and then we were like, "Man, we lost Nick. Where did he go?" It was like, we get a call. He's in front of. We were like, "Where are you?" He's like, "I'm at a hotel, not the hotel or my hotel, a hotel." So we went and get him, and it didn't go like this. Oh, I'm sorry, Ches. Oh, the hotel called us. Wow, that's even worse. So we go to the hotel, and there he is, man, face down in a planter, passed out, face down in a planter.
My question: how did they know to call you? Did I
don't know. They might have. How did they know? We called the jails of Boston. I'm getting confirmation from people at PAX East. Yeah, they used your phone. Then basically he ended up puking from a moving car. That said, but it was even better because it was a Geico insurance mobile from Adam, aka Rockopotamus, who graciously drove us around all weekend.
What, bro?
But
number one valet in Boston.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. So that's how I got to know Nick, and then he passed out on our floor that night, and that was cool too. So,
First impressions.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
I'm sure you would have been confused if you were sober, seeing me and Dan sleeping in the same bed while you walked in. Probably would have been a little bit confusing.
But to my credit, I do remember I was still being nice. I was still feeding Ches and his friends drinks because they.
Yes.
And then I think I had to bribe a bouncer to get Ches back into the.
Yes, you did. You slipped him a 5, which is the best part of that whole story. Not like a 20, a 5, and this dude was like, "All right, sweet."
Ches isn't worth $20. 5's not good enough. Okay, I'm sorry, man. I can't help you.
But yeah, that's how we met him. And of course, he is a pretty big YouTuber now. What are you, 150K subs now? Just hit it?
Yeah, around there. Not too big in comparison, but...
Well, I have 7,000, so you're a lot bigger than me. So, Nick Fenton's huge, though. It's somewhere. Look at him. No.
He's big with the under 13 crowd.
No,
yeah.
Shut up. God damn it.
But yeah, Nick is here with us, and he does a Let's Play channel, which I've always wanted to ask, like, someone who runs one of these, like you or Brad.
It's impressive just looking at the amount of videos.
Jeez.
Because
it took me like 4 months to get hard reset right, and that didn't go well. And I was like, man, this is really hard. So how do you do it, man? What's the... You play through the games pretty quickly, too.
It's basically, when you tell someone you play video games for a living, and kind of like, it's hard for me to kind of describe what I do to people. People watch you for that? I don't know. But you basically have to treat it as a job. Like, you gotta set a schedule. You have to keep up with news and stuff to know when your games are coming out. And yeah, like you said, you just have to be pumping out videos. And my situation last year used to be a lot better because I had actually decent internet. But it's getting a little bit harder this year because I moved into an apartment with a lady. But yeah, you just have a good computer, have decent internet, and try to stay as organized as possible. And try to interact with your fans. I find that helps, as always, as one would expect.
Yeah, this dude puts out like 7 videos like at once. It's crazy. It took me like 3 months to get another video out just now.
Sounds a lot like me, kind of how I run my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's usually about 7 videos a day, I think.
Yeah, tons of content over on
big
YouTube.com/Synwyn.
Like 3 months now, probably, since I've uploaded anything?
Yeah, you put out that small Just Cause 2 clip, and that was it.
That was a good video, though. Good way to go out.
That was a good video.
Dank Queef 420.
Dank Queef 420. So, how did you get started in doing a Let's Play channel, or were you always Let's Players?
He was a COD boy.
I started. I'm like, I think it's 3 years old now. My channel. I started off. I think I watched the infamous Hutch sniping on Overgrown or something like that. The video that everyone else has seen, and I was like, yeah, that's cool. I think I was in my second year of university, and I wasn't doing homework, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try that and do that for a bit.
Were you a good quickscoper?
No, I was not very good at the game, to be honest. But I just thought, yeah, it's cool. It'd be nice to see my gameplay on the internet. So I started off with doing that, and then I think like 3 or 4 months in, Hutch randomly just saw one of my videos, and he gave me a shout out, and then I got signed up with Machinima like a week later, and then I was kind of, for 2 years, I was doing COD, and then just like at that time, the COD community was just really, really blowing up, and I was putting actually a lot of work into my videos, and I think if anyone's ever seen my older COD videos, there's like a lot of editing going on, like on level like a Team Arm or Onslaught or something like that, but I still wasn't really getting anywhere, so it was kind of just like frustrating. And then this time last year, my first walkthrough I ever did was LA Noire, which was a decent game. But just the sheer volume, if you take a look at like other channels, if you look at like the creatures, right, just massive sub base, that your videos are going to get buried if you just do the normal walkthrough stuff. So with my first walkthrough, I kind of wanted to do something a little different, so I just did a 5-star walkthrough, like perfect playthrough, basically. And then that kind of got me going. And then I really hit it big because no one decided to do the Legend of Zelda last year for some odd reason, just because it probably was on Wii. No one really wanted to play a Wii game. So that kind of got me up to where I'm going right now. So yeah, that's basically it. It's not a lot of luck. There's
there's definitely
a lot of luck, and there's a lot of hard work, and sometimes it both go for you the same way. Then
a lot of weightlifting.
Yeah, a lot of weightlifting.
Yeah, tons of that. But it's just crazy looking at your channel and seeing I love like what is it, Saints Row here, or no, Mass Effect 3, 106 videos. I have like 200 videos total.
That's more than I have.
Yeah.
I'm so famous.
And that's only you are so fucking famous. But it's just crazy to me. Also, you have the best background on YouTube, by the way.
That's true.
It's so racist.
It's the most racist background on YouTube.
I was unaware. I didn't really see the racism in the background, but
in TetraNinjas, it's a fucking Ninja Turtle. So racist.
Yeah, well, my buddy Evan, he's a graphic artist by trade, and he just does amazing work. So
yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah, if you ever get
Evan Eckert, if you ever can get
Evan to make you some work, he'll like work with you directly get what you want.
So, so what games have you guys been playing this week? We've kind of forgot that.
No, we'll get to that. I want to talk about now. We are a PC gaming podcast, as everyone knows. I want to talk about this fucking computer that Tetra has.
Yeah.
This absolute monster. This man loves to buy hardware too.
He loves it so much he donates hardware to charity marathons.
Yeah.
I do this for a living, but like I play video games for a living, but I don't watch gaming videos anymore. Like I watch the occasional one when John does once in a year. John does a video, I'll watch that. But like the only videos I watch now are like Linus Tech Tips and the occasional music cover, just because.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, when you're making as many videos as you are, there's much less time to watch them. But yeah, so he's got like 690s, all sorts of good business going on here. And the storage
just out the ass.
Yeah.
All the terabytes in the world.
You need that when you're running DX Story and doing PC games. You gotta have that much storage. I justified it.
I bet you render in about 2 seconds too. I don't know if you use Premiere or not, or what you use.
No, I'm still on the Sony Vegas.
So still in Vegas, but yeah. Regardless, it's pretty much a beast. So he fits in quite well here. Mainly because he's the best computer out of all of us by a long shot. But so yeah, thanks for coming on, man.
No problem. I'm actually
like your stuff.
I love watching your podcast. It's fanboy time, but yeah, I listen to the podcast like while I'm uploading videos. It's just entertaining, and then thought I'd jump on one.
Thank you. So I asked people to send in Twitter questions for you. But frankly, I don't think they sent in that many directly for you. But one kid wanted to know when you're going to do a setup video. Endless Freer wanted to know.
I was supposed to do it like right away when I moved into the apartment. But anyone knows when you move into a new place, nothing is clean for the first several months just because you have boxes upon boxes everywhere.
Yes.
So I think everything's pretty much shaped up now. My room's a mess right now. I kind of pushed everything aside for the video. But I'll probably do a setup video soonish.
We gotta have Nick do a bro cave for us, especially with this crazy build he's got. We need some pictures of that.
You gotta hide your bongs.
So what have you been playing, Nick?
It's actually just a bong.
Yeah, so we'll start with Nick, who plays many, many games. What have you been playing recently? Obviously some Halo 4, probably.
Bonk 815 shout out to setup videos.
Well, this is still here. If I would have been on the podcast like 2 weeks ago, you guys would have been proud of me. I was playing Borderlands 2, I was playing Marijuana, I was playing Dishonored, all on PC, but that was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you fly through games.
Yeah, I fly through games just because I have to. Recently, I just completed Assassin's Creed 3, which is a fantastic game.
Awesome game.
I played... It's a fantastic game. Like regardless of what platform you're playing it on, and like to give you an idea, like I play video games for a living, and I kind of have to do quick. But I still, after when I was done that walkthrough, I was still going back to do extra stuff. So I'm at like 93% sync on that. So it's pretty good. I finished Halo 4. Did not jump into the multiplayer at all, and then just because I have to kind of get things done a little bit quicker. I have been playing a little bit of WOPs too, and Lego Lord of the Rings, just because it's Lego.
Man, I'm so excited for Lego Lord of the Rings. I want to get that game so bad. Lego games are the bomb. They're just so fun.
I only hear good things about the Lego
It's so
games.
simple, but it's so enjoyable.
Yeah. So
it's actually, they're hard too sometimes. It's like a game rated for everyone, but like I got stuck a bunch of times with Lego Batman, and it's just exciting because they're actually using voice acting from the movies, which is pretty.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
That's neat.
So what have you been up to, Brandon?
I've been playing some different stuff this weekend. Played some League, played some Smite. Hawken is really good. Hawken keeps getting better. Like
it does.
I mean, they've added some stuff even since the first phase of beta. That game is iterating very fast, so definitely try it if you haven't yet. I'm sure there are still thousands of beta keys out there on various websites.
Yeah, we gave a few away this week as well, and we have a few more too. So
yeah, it's definitely worth trying.
Tune into
out.
our streams, we'll have some.
Yeah, they've added. I don't know if they've actually added more game modes because I think I only really played TDM. the first beta, but there's like 4 different game modes now and several different maps. So I think, I mean, they seem pretty good to go for, they have another month until their quote unquote release date or open beta date or whatever. I think it's going to be in a pretty good state by then.
So
yeah, that's pretty much it. Those 3. Oh, and I started just earlier today. I started Assassin's Creed 2 because it's one of those games that I've been meaning to play for a while, and now that Assassin's Creed 3 is out, I figure I should probably catch up with 2.
And the DRM is gone.
Yeah, so I actually the DRM is gone, but so I've not played an Ubisoft game, I don't think, since the original Assassin's Creed, which didn't have any of that garbage. And so I install it. I go to start it up. The first thing I get is the Uplay interface.
Yeah.
And I have to actually create a Uplay account. And then like from there, it doesn't even give you an option to add the game. I have to actually close Uplay and then restart it, like restart Assassin's Creed, so that it pulls up the prompt so I can enter my CD key into Uplay.
Still uses a CD.
I don't know why you all hate Uplay so much.
You actually type in the CD key. You type it in. You can't even copy and paste the CD key. You have to type it in.
It is so
Uplay
dumb.
is great though, because you can you get your Uplay points and you can unlock wallpapers that you could have just Google image search for. That's a sweet application, all right. That's a pretty cool deal.
Yeah. So anyway, even though they've removed the DRM from Uplay, it is still a terrible experience. It was my first experience with Uplay, and it was really, really bad. But once I got into Assassin's Creed 2, I forgot how slow they go at the beginning. Like I wanted to make the game go faster.
A lot of intro.
Yeah,
story.
lots of intro. And I mean, I get that they have to kind of set up the story. But now I'm kind of into the game a little bit and enjoying it. The only thing is they really, really mailed it in on like changing anything in the interface for PC, because I was trying to figure out the keys to use, and on like when they're training you in the game and saying like you can hit
your
this
Assassin's
key.
Creed controller.
Yeah, that is Assassin's Creed right there.
This
You're
is what
playing on
you use for
PC, you gotta
Assassin's
use it
Creed.
as a controller.
Well, I get that. I get that a lot of people like to use the controller, but like when it tells you press this to do this, it doesn't give you an actual key. It gives you like a picture.
Yeah.
And so it takes
It's a
forever
head
to
or
figure
a
out.
hand, like another hand that's upside down, but it looks
so
exactly like the other one.
Exactly. So it's like press the hand to grab. And you're like, what key is the hand supposed to be? So I'm sitting there going back and forth to my key bindings, trying to figure out which keys to press. So anyway, I just wanted to rant a little bit because I was like, it's a good game and it runs fine, but there's just little things that like would have been really easy for them to make a better experience on PC.
Ubisoft mailing it in,
Yeah.
but whatever. That's about right. So, what about you, Knack Finton?
Take a guess. Any kind of
Halo
guess.
4.
Oh yeah, that one. That game. That little game.
I know you played other things.
Yeah, I played a little bit more Dota 2, and I played a little bit of Sanctum last night, and some Black Ops. Actually, we played Black Ops on Friday, and that was good.
Blast.
Yes. So, I mean, my experience on Black Ops on Friday kind of makes me a little tiny bit excited for Black Ops 2.
Just get out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
I haven't been paying attention to that game at all in terms of like what everything in that game. I know there's a map that's on a boat. That's like the extent of Black Ops 2 information.
You want to know what else was on a fucking boat? Wetworks. So don't get excited for that bullshit.
Hey, Wetworks is my favorite map.
Fuck you.
3 times frag. 3 times frag. On
That
Wetworks?
map is actually designed very similar, like Wetworks. It's kind
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
no.
not
Wetwork.
good for anybody.
Wetwork. The worst map in the history of video games.
There might be a worse
35 FPS cracked. Is pretty bad.
That or the pit in Halo 3 on Team Snipers. That was the fucking worst.
Yeah, that's just a pretty bad map for snipers.
But yes, Halo 4, it's eating you alive.
Beautiful game. I'm telling you, it looks fantastic.
Regardless of our PC gaming podcast, the game looks really good.
No, I'll say it doesn't.
What about you, John?
TF2s, lots of it.
TF2.
That's all I ever see you playing.
Yeah, well,
You're always in game.
I'm playing in ESEA with Zalfie, who's in our stream right now. He's our demo man. I am playing in ESEA next season, so we're trying to get our team working together, and all that jazz. And then I've been playing a shitload of Diablo 3. Yeah, nice. 60. I'm in Inferno. I have more Inferno progress than Dan does, apparently.
Yep. Well, I'm not even at Diablo. I'm just in Act 4.
Well, we were talking the other day, and you told me you got like 4 random legendary drops that you could actually use. Do you know the percentage on that kind of chance?
I have. I got 3, and then Joe, who's another guy on our TF2 team, gave me 2. So I have like 5 legendaries that are fantastic for me.
What are you playing? What class?
Wizard.
Nice. Well, if you get some barbed weapons, think of me.
Yeah, I'll think of you when I list them on the auction house.
Yeah, I know you will. But I've been playing mostly Black Mesa. I finished Black Mesa up on my stream. Man, what a mod!
It's a game.
Yeah, the ending is somewhat disappointing. I mean, we knew it was coming because Zen is going to be a separate mod, but it was still kind of anticlimactic when you jump into the portal to Zen and it's just like, well, thanks for playing, like essentially. So, but yeah, Black Mesa was definitely worth the 10 or 12 hours it took me to finish it. It was awesome. But also been playing Metro 2033. Started Let's playing that on my Twitch channel, and that game is terrifying in a lot of ways. Very creepy. It wasn't destroying my PC that badly, which I was happy about from what I'd heard about that game. But I'm not playing it on Ultra. So yeah, someone in chat was like, "You're gonna shit yourself, then." Yeah, I probably will, because I was already creeped out through most of the beginning. But that game is awesome so far. And then also played some Black Ops with Nick and some other bros on Friday. And then tonight I bought Cinnamore, I think is how you pronounce it, which is a shoot 'em up, like Jamestown type game. It was on Xbox Live Arcade before this, but I love those types of games. It was $9, already worth it. Very beautiful game to look at, and runs really well. Cinnamora. But yeah, anyway, that game's been pretty good. So that's what we've been playing this week, guys.
We now interrupt your scheduled programming to bring you an urgent broadcast from the front lines of America.
We are back, and we're going to start out with some... yeah, sorry about that stream. Those ads are unmutable for some reason.
Ban me.
But nothing I could do.
Well, at least the elections are over, so you don't get those ones.
Yeah, that's actually... I would rather listen to the Toyota ad I just had to listen to twice than the... the fear-mongering.
This is a good time to remind you, if you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, you can watch us live on Sunday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern, which is,
yes.
We're live right now, but I'm sure there are a lot of people that still only listen to the recording, so we have to remind people sometimes things sound out of context.
Yes, and hopefully that will be edited out of the audio.
We'll see.
But anyway, so, first piece of news, we did put our November build guides out last week, the day after the podcast, and again, these continue to amaze me with what you can get for the money. We didn't do a lot of changes to the $500 or $800 builds, I don't believe, mainly because we just couldn't.
Yeah, there's not much room to move with those.
Yeah, so I think they're pretty much exactly the same, except we changed the motherboard to a gigabyte on the $800 one. And the 13 and 1800, the 1800 got an upgrade in memory to some faster memory.
Well, so did the 1300. That's really the biggest news this month. I mean, we changed some motherboards around, but motherboards really come down to kind of your personal needs and preferences. So that's not huge news, but the Enthusiast and Professional, our two top builds, did get an upgrade to DDR3 1866, so faster RAM. You may not see it. You may not see an improvement in a ton of applications, but the fact that we're staying at the same price point, but month over month the builds just keep getting better and keep getting faster. So
yep,
really nice.
And as far as the 1866 memory, the reason we did that, now before we always stuck with 1600, and then AnandTech.com came out with a really cool story for hardware nerds anyway, about which RAM is actually worth your money as far as the speed. And basically, the 1866 over 1600 was yielding 10 FPS in a lot of cases over that.
The crazy thing too is that it's really not. It's not much more expensive. You're talking about maybe $10 or $15.
Yeah,
if that.
And basically, that if you went with 2133 or even faster than that, the gains were really diminished for the price.
Yeah.
So unless you were doing some hardcore rendering or something, 2133 or 2400, not really worth the cash. If you're just gaming, 1866 is basically the sweet spot.
One other thing, I guess the actual biggest change this month was that in our top build, the $1,800 build, we were actually able to fit a 256 gig solid state drive. So that $1,800 build, like if you're looking to build, for a Christmas present or something, I know $1,800 is a lot of money, but that $1,800 build
for me,
is
bitch.
Well, not for John, because John is rich and famous, but for the average person, $1,800 is a lot to spend, but that $1,800 build is, I think, the best buy on our build guide right now, because that is basically, if I was building a PC for myself, that is the exact PC I would build. Exactly.
Not
as we
me.
have it
I would
listed.
not get the 670s because I'm not a fucking retard.
Well,
you do know they're better, though, right?
I do know, but you could do other things and get, you could probably end up getting like a 3930K and a fucking different motherboard for the price of two 670s. You could just get two 660 Ti Power Editions.
We've had this conversation before. If you're spending $1,800, I'll say it again, this is the build I would get. You don't have to get two 670s. You don't have to get any 670s, but that's at your discretion. These are just recommendations.
We actually was able to put the stuff is going so crazy in prices right now that at one point when we were making these, I was able to fit two 680s in that build. Like, it was just, stuff is just dropping like crazy. It's been pretty cool to see.
Yeah, if you can stay on top of kind of the rebates and different promos, you could probably get the parts for any one of these builds for up to 20-25% off. It just kind of depends on the day.
So,
that's a good point. Nick's sitting here like $1,800. Try 5,500, motherfuckers.
Mail rebates are the biggest ripoff ever. Does anyone actually? It makes you feel better when you're buying it.
You get them from EVGA. Nobody else fucking honors shit.
But you get them. You feel good that you're potentially saving yourself money, but no one actually. I don't know. I've never mailed them in. Yeah,
I do it, but I always forget about them, and then I get them in the mail, and it's awesome because it's like, oh, $40 that I didn't even remember I was going to get.
Yeah, that's the best part. Is like you mail them in, and it's like 6 weeks till you get your $20 or whatever. Like
6 weeks. That would be. I would love 6 weeks. Normally, it's like 3 months.
I actually RMA'd a motherboard from Gigabyte last year whenever I upgraded the motherboard in my machine now. And I completely forgot that I RMA'd it. And I ended up buying a new one. And I had a motherboard show up on my steps at my door like 5 months later from Gigabyte.
That's how John ends up with spare PC parts. He RMAs something and then just buys a new one because it takes so long to get back to him.
Yeah, it just showed up like literally it was like 5 months later. It was at least 4 months.
But speaking of what John said about the 3930K, I was able to make a build where if you were really focusing on rendering or streaming, I was able to make an $1,800 build with a 3930K and a 680 in it. Like, it was, it's kind of crazy, the prices right now.
If you compare like what it used to cost like to build a gaming
that'd
PC,
be like a 5K PC.
Like 2 years ago, a machine that has like the quality of parts that these ones have would have been 4 to 5K.
Yep. Yeah, it's crazy. So it's a good time to be a PC gamer, especially before these new consoles come out, whenever they do.
Like the build I had before this, it had two 6970s, 2500K, and like 16 gigs RAM was like $2,100.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's a piece of
things
shit.
drop. So, on to the next thing. But check out the build guides if you're on the market, even at the lower price points. But this next story got tweeted at me so much that I was like, I have to look into this because I actually hadn't seen the articles on it. Apparently, Razer has has made a mouse now, the Naga, which is the MMO mouse. It has like 1 million buttons on the side.
Masterpiece.
It has DRM.
Well, hold on. That's
not true.
Let's
Not
explain
true
the
DRM.
story first before we just say it has DRM.
Well, it's still ridiculous.
It just so it has to connect
driver?
to the internet, I guess, for the first time, and their servers were down, so people, I guess, weren't able to activate their firmware. Which I think the dumbest thing about this is, like, I don't really get what Razer is trying to do here. Like, they want to sync profiles for your mice in the cloud.
Mouse on the cloud, yo.
I can't think, like who is that catering to? How many people need to sync their mouse profiles across different mice?
Also, I want to know who's installing mouse software. I don't think
I have mouse software for my mouse. It's phenomenal. It's absolutely incredible.
Well, you have to if you want to adjust the DPI, you have to install their software. So I usually install it out of necessity, not because I want any special feature. I just want to be able to change the DPI.
I installed this so I could change the color of the mouse. That's basically.
I installed mine so I could change the rate in which this SteelSeries logo on my mouse pulses.
I know you're a fan of things that are pulsating, so.
Yes. I have it pulsating fast and hard.
I think just to get back to Brandon's question, he's like, who is this catering to? I think they just did it for the sake of doing it, so they can say.
Well, that's the thing is, like, I feel like they're trying to solve a problem that no one has, and in doing so, they've upset a lot of people because I guess their servers were having issues, and so people weren't able to just install their mouse software and, like normal, do their settings and stuff. I guess you had to create an account, but if their servers weren't working, then you couldn't create an account. And it's just like they've gotten themselves into this situation by trying to offer a feature that, like, I don't really see the point of.
They marketed it towards, like, hardcore professional gamers where you could go anywhere.
Yeah, because the problem with that is all of these major events have peripheral sponsors, so you can't take your shit and use it anyway.
Exactly.
Like, you're sponsored by SteelSeries. Razer sponsors this tournament. You're using Razer shit. End of discussion.
How many people have multiple computers that they're not, like, that they're going to all the time? Like, yeah, I
play games on.
Right,
like,
I have a laptop. Okay, I have a laptop and a desktop. I have 2 different mice for those 2 PCs, and because my desktop is 3 monitors and my laptop is just 1, I wouldn't necessarily want to even sync those settings. That's what I don't get. Is you typically, I don't know, maybe there's a use case for it that I'm unaware of, but it seems like a fairly pointless feature to me.
We must clarify, as you said at the beginning, this mouse works out the box fine. So
yeah, you just can't change any of the custom settings though. But you can always plug in a mouse and it'll just work.
Yeah, but I just think it's funny. What happens if they go down again? You're just sitting there. Well, shit. None of my stuff
and
works.
I can't download my mouse from the cloud.
Yeah,
the internet's broken. How the
my
fuck
3D
do you
printer
explain that?
mouse.
It's like you're trying to do work and you have to email your boss. I'm sorry, I can't download my mouse from the cloud.
Hey, the future in computer hardware is downloading. We've already got mice and RAM. I mean, we can download video cards pretty soon. I'm pretty sure that's coming. That's being developed by Infinity Ward, so it probably won't work.
Yeah, it definitely won't work. So yeah, Razer, quit trying.
It sounded like Razer is gonna host the legacy drivers on their site from now on. So it's not clear exactly what that means, but I think you'll always be able to get the drivers that will work without this, apparently. But still, this does not make me any more likely to buy a Razer mouse. And in fact, it probably makes me less likely because I don't want to have to create an account.
Just because they did something stupid.
Yeah,
I'm less likely to buy your product if you do one thing stupid. Even if it doesn't affect me, you did something stupid. so I'm probably not.
Project Fiona's coming, so they're going to do some more stupid shit whenever that comes out. But
All those
Death Adder's
people
a
with Razer
fantastic
blades are
mouse.
going to want to sync their profiles.
yeah, people with Razer blades.
When they have multiple Razer blades, you can sync your Razer blades over the cloud.
But on to some really, really good news, and this kind of came out of nowhere, and is somewhat not random, but like
Boner,
how the way
interesting.
this news came out is kind of crazy. But this is some great news. I mean, since Valve has said for years, actually, we're not going to build Source 2. They've actually said that before. They've been like, we're not going to build Source 2. We're just going to keep building on top of Source. But it has been confirmed by Gabe himself. Source 2 is coming. They don't have a game to put it on yet. But they have it in development right now. It was /V was invited to come. The 4chan people.
I was going to say, this to me is almost bigger news than Source 2, is the fact that like 4chan people got to visit Valve's office.
Yeah, so 4chan shows up and for Gabe's birthday celebration, and they kind of had a little interview with him. He said specifically, I love how this, he said specifically no Half-Life 3 questions. So someone kind of circumvented that by going with, are you developing Source 2, and is it going to be like its own thing, like a brand new thing, not just a new iteration of Source? And he said yes. Source 2 is going to be a totally separate engine from Source. It's not building off of Source or improving on Source itself. So Source 2 will be a completely new engine. And the bigger news, he also confirmed that they are working on Ricochet 2, which I'm sure everyone is super excited about now.
The biggest joke in like Valve history in terms of their games, Ricochet 1. So
yeah,
I guarantee Ricochet 2 is probably going to be fucking incredible.
it probably will.
Yeah, it probably will be.
Yeah.
Because Ricochet 1 was terrible, and they know it. that's like the best. For those who don't know the joke, that is the joke. But Source 2, man. Oh, now I'm really excited. You have to think that Half-Life 3 is the launch game at some point. Although Gabe says they don't have a launch game right now.
It will be. I mean, if they're developing
I think
a new engine, it will be.
Yeah, I think it will be, but the Source 2 may still be like 3-4 years away. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
Well, they developed the original Source engine in about 2 years. So depending on how long it's been in development, I would say 2 to 3 years for a new engine.
So you heard it here first. Get 4chan over to Valve headquarters more if you want to hear real news.
But 4chan is scary.
Yeah, I just won't go
4chan
there.
is scary.
I can't go. Yeah.
You sound like you're almost tearing up right there.
Just
Like,
that-
out of
that's like-
fear. Ah, I'm not.
You never know what's going to happen when you go there. It's just not good. It's just not good.
I think John's had too many trips to /B.
Yeah. Space clop.
So there you go, guys. Source 2. This is, pretty massive news, to be honest. So we'll...
Maybe their
see
launch
what
title will
this
be a
thing's
Counter-Strike game that's not fucking terrible.
I actually was having this discussion today with some people. I actually think it might even be a new IP whenever they launch it. Like, not Half-Life 3.
They need an MMO.
Something
I think if they
completely
really
new.
want to dominate the market entirely, I'd make an MMO.
You know, but dude, TF2's mostly an MMO anyway.
Yeah, I'd make a fucking Team Fortress 2
We're
MMO.
instancing for hats.
Yeah, instancing for hats.
There is no armor. You kill raid bosses for hats.
There you go.
And only-
Actually, the
only
raid bosses are
stuff.
hats. It's just
Yes.
a giant hat. It's a hat wearing a hat that you can take the smaller hat and then wear it later.
I feel like Valve is kind of like Apple in that there's probably at least 1 or 2 or 3 crazy things they're working on that we won't know until it's just there, until they release it, and it's going to be ridiculous.
What? So like it's like TF2 Mini, 7.5 inch TF2, or
That's exactly
the same
what I
exact thing, only smaller.
Source 3 is hat. Someone just said that. Source 3 is just a hat. But yeah, that's huge news. Very cool to see. Very odd way to break said news by Gabe, but whatever. So up next, we have PC Gamer actually did 2 articles. One was the making of Minecraft, and this appeared in the physical version of PC Gamer and then post it on the website later. And since no one subscribes to physical magazines anymore, I only saw it on the web. But basically, they've come out with a decently large interview with, it's a couple pages with, oh God, what is his name? Yeah, Jens Bergensten, the guy who runs Minecraft now, because Notch is working on other things. And basically, the question asked was, what is the future of Minecraft? Which is obviously, as we know, a phenomenon and changed a lot of the ways people do things now, as far as price models and lots of other things. And basically, they've said that the latest snapshot, well, it's not going to be the last sort of patch for Minecraft. Right now, their big project is working on an API for Minecraft, building it from the ground up. And the reason they're doing that is basically at this point they're saying, modders, this is your game. Like, you take it from here. We might put out some bug fixes now and then after we make this API, but we're not going to substantially update Minecraft after this. And that's not a bad thing at all. We've seen mods as most of the content anyway. If you watch, like, Captain Sparkles, for instance, it's pretty much all custom campaigns and that kind of thing.
Nick, how did you meet Captain Sparkles?
Yeah, how do you meet Jordan?
He wasn't. I only met him at the convention because
I was trolling Nick Fenton. Actually, that's the question that Nick gets all the time. How'd you meet Jordan and Mark? Nick, how'd you meet them?
And then he wasn't old enough to go to the party after, so.
Yeah, that was great. And then me and Jordan had to go back to his hotel, and it was just like, oh.
So what do we do now?
Yeah, it was like, I guess I'll go back to my hotel because this is getting kind of gay. Like, literally, I was coming on to Jordan, so I left before anything got out of hand.
Jordan must be salivating at all this Minecraft news.
Yeah, he must be, because
I don't
actually
know how he still plays it, honestly. He's played it so much.
Modding Minecraft is kind of a bitch, actually.
Yeah, it is.
Because there's no real support, but that's what they're aiming to fix with the API. You'll be able to go in-game and kind of use a Steam Workshop kind of a deal and add in mods that way. That's how they're going to change it. But basically, they're saying, there's not much point to us putting in like new mobs or new enemies, new animals. Like, people love that stuff, but there's good like we can only do that for so long. So basically, they're looking into just handing this game to the modders and making this API. So very cool of them to do that. And you had to think at some point, I mean, it's only been a couple of years, but you can only add so much more content to a game that is completely open-ended. So,
Yeah.
But this is going to be a pretty big project, this API thing. So I don't know if they have any sort of date set for that, but it's going to be a very big project because it basically rewrites the game to do it, because they never built the original game with an API in mind.
It's nice.
So
that,
if you're a Minecraft fan,
it's nice that they're because Minecraft has already been such a colossal success, that the kind of the direction they're taking is just to make it more community oriented and make it easier for people to do the things they're already doing. I think the kinds of stuff that they're talking about for the future of Minecraft is going to ensure that Minecraft is still a thing, like in 5 to 8 years. People will still be playing Minecraft because of the decisions they're making now, which I think is smart.
Yep. Every game that's heavily moddable, well, not every game, but most games that are heavily moddable, as someone in chat just said, I bet there's people who still play Morrowind with tons of mods.
Yep.
That's probably true.
Probably so.
And that's what will make Skyrim last a very long time as well, and games like that. So
Definitely.
But next up in the news, as if we didn't need more MOBAs, we're getting another one anyway. Disney has signed a deal with a Korean developer, Smilegate, who I've never heard of, but I guess they are huge over there. So
Disney's just spending that money, man. Fucking.
Yeah.
Jesus
It's going to
Christ.
be a Marvel-based MOBA, which is actually
cool.
kind of sweet. Yeah. And it's slated for only Asian release initially, but come on, it's definitely going to be out. It's only released in Asia in 2014. That's what they're saying. But I kind of feel like this will be out in the U.S. not too long after that.
Hulk too strong.
Yeah. Hulk. Omega Red. Dude, this guy mentions
Hulk's gonna be
Omega
like
Red.
an AP carry.
God,
We're gonna have,
just
everything's
the
gonna be
complete
all
opposite.
fucked up. Wolverine's gonna be changed AD.
Yeah. But this guy mentions Omega Red, who is my favorite character in X-Men. So props to this writer of this article. Omega Red better be in this game, too.
My favorite Marvel character is Daredevil from the movie. That was my favorite. It's my favorite movie, too.
My favorite Marvel character is Harry Potter. So. Love Harry.
But I would play a Marvel MOBA just to see it.
I think it makes a pretty good fit for a MOBA because there are so many, there's so many heroes in the Marvel lineup that you can keep releasing champions. Seems pretty sustainable from a kind of free-to-play perspective.
I hope they put Disney characters in this, too.
I want to fucking lane against Hulk as Donald Duck.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be incredible.
I would legit play that game.
I want to play Goofy, but I want to buy a skin that's Gooby. Tell me that's not the best idea.
That is the best idea.
And then you're like Donald Duck, Dolan.
Dolan.
Dolan. Top lane Dolan. Watch out.
It's actually Dolan.
Dolan Jungle.
Oh, God.
Oh. So, yeah, keep your eyes on that in a couple years. But these next two articles are kind of coming in as one and the same. But Peter Molyneux, a man that we've shit on multiple times in the show.
Insane.
Yeah, he is fucking nuts. Let's put it this way.
I guess is the polite word to use for Peter Molyneux.
Well, the second article just makes him sound like a pompous asshole once again. But anyway,
he's British, dude.
I have been playing Curiosity, and it's not a PC game, for those who are wondering, and they don't have plans for a PC port, because mainly they have to get their servers running for the game itself anyway, because they are constantly down. But
I was going to say, I haven't been able to even play it, because the servers haven't even been up.
All you do is just tap your phone screen. This is Curiosity. I'm playing it right now. That's all you do.
Right, dude, don't lie.
Quite literally, that's all you do. But it is somewhat addicting, and it's cool to see when the layers start to come out, because each layer has a different picture on it. And then, I don't know, it's pretty cool. It's simple, obviously.
Can I carve dicks into the cube?
Yeah, you can carve dicks into the cube.
Can I download this?
Yeah, Curiosity, in the Google search Curiosity Cube. The Android app is buggier than the iPhone.
I was going to say, I'm actually trying to join it right now. And it just says joining on the screen.
Yeah, the servers have been getting pounded.
Yeah, I've tried like 4 or 5 different times just to try and log in and see what it's like, and I haven't been able to get in.
But we at work, like 3 of us had gotten like 200,000 blocks done just by sitting there free time tapping the screen. But you get currency from tapping things, and then you can buy like the upgraded chisels and hammers and shit. But anyway. So Molyneux had said that this 22 cans thing is 22 experimental games, and then they're going to make a big game at the end. But now he's come out and said that he will only make one more game, like big, full feature game, not these little ones. He's only going to be making one more, and then he's going to be done. So, God, the way he's... And he said that it says it's going to be the defining game of his career. He has dubbed this that this is going to happen because he's Peter Molyneux.
It will be.
The thought of every ounce of my energy, every ounce of my experience, every mistake that I've made in every single game, if I can learn from that and use that energy to make one game, that's what I'm trying to do. We're going to make a game. We're going to learn what it is to make a game in today's world. I don't know what that means, Peter, but all right. And it's going to be the defining game of my career.
Are you curious? Because it's asking me right now.
You can be curious where the servers
are. I'm the 836,164th person to embark on this unique experiment exploring the power of curiosity.
Yes.
That's great, man.
So, there's still 14 billion blocks to be taken out of the cube or something like that, so get tapping, bros.
Only one person will find out what's in the cube? That's bullshit. It's going to go all over the fuck... It's going to be on Reddit, you fucking idiot.
I was going to say, that one guy is going to make a ton of money off his monetized YouTube video.
Yeah, exactly.
It's actually just Peter Molyneux's ego.
No, it is. It's I think it's going to be Peter Molyneux doing the helicopter dick. That's what I just in the middle.
It should be to like a beat, and then you just be like, "I'm Peter Molyneux. I'm Peter Molyneux."
But yeah. Anyway, you can spend 50 grand on that hammer.
I was going to say, is there an option to pay money? Because I thought there was supposed to be like you could buy the coins to upgrade your pick.
Yeah, you get coins from just breaking blocks though, but you can also buy with real currency. But so anyway, Peter Molyneux, he is what he is. PeteSpin.com.
His music is obnoxious, by the way.
PeteSpin.com. And would watch. So next up we have a story that broke and then was immediately shot down by a developer within 2 days. So these guys made a website called DayZ Bounty, which was going to pay people real money to kill other people in DayZ, and for killing zombies and things like this. And a lot of people are kind of pumped about it.
That's kind of cool.
It is kind of cool. But then within a day or two, they weren't actually trying to make money off it themselves. It was like you would place bounties on people, and they had a custom server and mod set up for this, so that it would be an in-game thing that they could track. But within, I think, a day after all this came to light, Bohemia came in and shut it down within like a day. They said, we fully support modifications created by the community to improve the gaming experience for players of DayZ and Arma 2. We do not support their creators putting a cost on them, as commercially exploiting their small additions to DayZ undermines the work done by the original team. So they pretty much said that they just don't want anyone making money off the mods. I mean, basically, this would come down to. But these guys weren't really trying to make personal profit. I mean, if you had a bounty to pay out to someone, you'd pay it out to that person. This site and mod was just kind of the hub for that to be done on. But I can see why Bohemia would shut it down.
I mean, they basically said they don't want like elements of gambling in the game because it's not. Yeah. It doesn't really agree with kind of the vision they have for it, and I'm sure they just don't want to be associated with that in any sort of form because I'm pretty sure the DayZ bounty thing is illegal in the U.S. anyway. So yeah. So it doesn't surprise me. But I mean, it's an interesting idea. Unfortunately, there's a lot of cool ideas that are in a kind of legal gray area.
Yeah, I agree with that, Chez. That's pretty realistic, as sim as it can get, like, for the people who place bounties, because that might happen in a real apocalypse situation like that. We have to kill this guy, here's a reward. Like, I could totally see that happening. But, no, the website may still be up, but Bohemia, I think, has sent them a cease and desist. So.
Well, the thing is, too, that I mean, in the game, your reward is getting the weapons and the loot off of the guy that you killed. If there's some bandit running around and he's been terrorizing everyone, if you kill that guy, you're going to have some pretty sweet gear. So, I mean, that is the inherent reward. So, but, I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool sounding when I read the first article, but then I also definitely saw Bohemia's side of the whole thing. So, sometimes modders do get shut down. It's one of those cases. So next story, Origin, which sucks real bad, is getting some... It's going to suck less now. Yeah, it's going to suck somewhat less, and maybe John can... I don't know if he can shed anything on this at all, but basically, Twitch support is now going to be integrated into Origin, which is actually pretty cool.
It works fantastically.
What does it do? Does
basically,
it, like,
Origin is turning into Steam. You can add non-Origin games into Origin, and it's basically click to stream. Any game that you add into Origin, be that League of Legends, World of Warcraft, Diablo, anything, it'll have it'll be similar to like the Steam overlay. Mm-hmm. It works similar to that, and you can just put any game in there and stream.
So it's like another streaming software, basically.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't use like XSplit in that case. Yeah. You'd be using Origin to actually stream. Does it have like you choose resolution and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it looks like the settings are fairly straightforward, just resolution and frame rate, and then it looks like it just kind of tailors itself to your bandwidth automatically.
Yes. Yeah, basically. And just to quick go back to the DayZ thing, no, fastidious gamer in the chat, DayZ did not get shut down. It was a site betting on DayZ. That is
Rest in
getting
peace,
shut down.
DayZ. You were cool.
So
Pays to be here for the whole
DayZ
cast.
is, but yeah, so Origin has added that, and I know PlanetSide 2 also has like native streaming in it. So a lot of apps are doing this. And then in a strange twist of fate, the boys over at Treyarch have added streaming support to Black Ops 2 to stream to YouTube from your Xbox 360. In some ways, this is pretty cool, and actually, Vonderhaar said, I think it was in a tweet, I don't think it was in an article, that this is a pretty massive achievement. And actually, if you think about it, it really is technologically
On an Xbox?
pretty impressive.
Yeah, on an Xbox, it's
Streaming
pretty sweet.
off an Xbox, 7-year-old hardware, and it managed to get this working. That's pretty impressive. These are the guys who, I don't know that Black Ops invented theater mode, but adding theater mode was huge for that game. And it may have been the first. I don't want to stream to YouTube either. That's the thing. I don't want to stream to YouTube either, Gassy. But that's kind of the only downfall to this. I mean, that I like that. I like having the fact that more people can stream.
It's a nice
And
step.
if you don't have,
It's a nice step that we'll start at YouTube and then we'll kind of work our way up there, possibly next gen, be everywhere.
Well, it's cool. It's cool that this kind of move helps make streaming more of a mainstream type thing.
I think that's the ultimate goal for everybody involved.
Yeah.
Is to make people aware that streaming does exist and that there are fucking dweebs online that will watch you play a game.
And just to make it easier, because up until now, streaming has been kind of just a technologically difficult thing to do. Even if you have a high-end PC, like getting your settings right and all that has been difficult. And so it's cool that there are companies, especially EA. I mean, I think even though I still don't like Origin, I think this is a pretty cool value add for them to put into their software that really does put them a notch above Steam for some people. Making things easier for PC gamers and in the Treyarch case console gamers to stream, pretty much just one click.
Yeah, it is limited to 360p, I believe, output, but it's the Xbox, dude. It's 7-year-old hardware. You gotta do something, And anything that gets more people streaming, I'm totally down with, even if it is to a immature platform, at least right now. And but yeah, anything to get more people streaming. And I really do give Treyarch props on this, because that is an impressive achievement. To bake that into a game on 7-year-old hardware, that's impressive. So, very cool on them. And then we've got 3. Oh, why do I have a message on here? So, okay. So anyway, we'll move on to some quick stories. Diablo 3 and StarCraft 2. We know StarCraft 2's expansion was coming out, but Diablo 3 will have an expansion pack in early 2013. Let's hope it. I think that is when you'll see the PvP get brought in. Will be that expansion pack.
I don't think the Diablo 3 expansion is scheduled for early 2013. That's Heart of the Swarm. I don't think they announced a date or time frame for.
Oh, it's currently in development.
Yeah, I have beta for Heart of the Swarm. I play a lot. I'm in the Dirt League, the Dirt Ladder.
So yeah, you can watch. I believe the beta is being streamed on Twitch anyway.
Yep.
A lot of the Heart of the Swarm stuff. So, but Diablo 3 will be in 2013 though, Brandon. It might not be early, but it will be in 2013.
I could see later in 2013.
I think that is when you will get. Still saying. I think that's when you'll get PvP.
I don't think so. I think they have to put PvP in the original game.
In a patch?
I think they do, because they promised PvP, and I think that's the reason a lot of people bought the game, is because they wanted that PvP experience. I think Blizzard putting that in expansion will be a pretty scumbag move.
So, but yeah, those are coming, so be on the lookout. especially if you're a fan of those games. This next story I wanted to highlight because we've had all this political nonsense and the election and all the craziness and all that in the last few weeks. But I saw this story a few weeks ago, actually, before the elections. There was this lady was running for a Senate seat in the Maine State Senate, and basically,
why? That's the question that's important here. The most important part of the story is why would you do anything in Maine?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, doesn't Maine have like a lot of lobsters? So I mean,
Yeah, dude, that's like the anti-NFEN state.
I would never go there.
But so basically, the other side. She was a Democrat. So Republicans basically were putting out attack ads and posters on she's a World of Warcraft player, and they basically pulled out like excerpts of chat from her in game and stuff to try to basically take her down and not try to win. But I think it's very cool she won. She ended up winning, which is very cool. And I was like hoping she would, regardless of affiliation or anything, just because, come on, dude, people play games. There's no need to like make it into a degrading thing for her.
That's the thing is, I don't think like the people that created this flyer, I don't think they realize that there are millions of people playing World of Warcraft, and anyone who sees this flyer and like they're gonna take offense to it. The fact that I mean, these comments are so funny. Like she made a post, I think it was on a forum or something, saying I love poisoning and stabbing because she's playing a rogue, and they highlighted that in this mailer. It's like she has these crude, vicious, and violent online comments. I mean, it's laughable to anyone who's ever played World of Warcraft. It's like she says she loves poisoning and stabbing. It's it's not. I don't know.
That's like the most tame thing I've ever seen on a World of Warcraft forum.
Yeah, it's usually much, much worse than that.
Yeah, have you ever been to the WoW forums, people? That is a cesspool.
Have you ever been in an evolved guild chat? I think.
Yeah, have you ever been in evolved guild chat? Because I have.
I don't think anyone in evolved could run for public office.
Zugger? You wouldn't elect Zugger, dude? Whatever.
No, he gave Shankers a Thunder Fury, which means he'll give Iran bombs.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's true. That's
from Maine. Maine has that kind of power.
Biggest inside joke we just made ever, but man, there's
going to be like good. 2 people listening to the podcast that are going to get that, and they're going to find it hilarious.
Yeah, they'll know who Shankers is. But when she won, in a very cool move, Blizzard sent her a copy of Panda of Mr. Pandaria, signed by the whole dev team. So that's cool. They sent her some swag for winning. So that's very cool. So I just wanted to highlight that.
Just goes to show you that you shouldn't do attack ads like against gaming, because there are a ton of people out there that play games, and no one's just going to blindly read these comments and think that she's some like serial killer or something.
Yeah.
Khalid has looked for a group. Would you trust this woman?
So the last little mini highlight here is that Elder Scrolls Online now has some video footage online.
That game looks really good. Like visually, just based off visuals, that looks really pretty for an MMO.
So there's going to be a bunch of playable races, PvP, all that. It should be out in 2013, at least that's the rumor. But
that game could be so good.
Yeah, or it could be a fucking disaster.
Yep.
I know.
There is no medium. There is no average game that will come out of this. It's either going to be the greatest thing ever, or one of the worst games.
It'll be one of the biggest disappointments in gaming history.
Is there a possible average MMO really though? If you think about it, is there a
possible average MMO that
like just like not being really good,
tied to that universe? It has
really
to
bad.
Be
yeah. I mean, Terra is an average MMO.
Yeah,
it would be great if it would be great if there was endgame content. Guild Wars 2 is average.
Yeah, I was actually going to say, like, I think Guild Wars 2 is kind of an average MMO. Like, I enjoyed playing it, but I'm not so just, it doesn't drag me in the way that WoW ever did, the way that Galaxies ever did. So I would say that's kind of an average MMO. And I think there'll be more of them as, like, the free-to-play model for MMOs kind of matures. But yeah, I think Elder Scrolls with that, behind that IP, like, it's either going to be great or it's going to be awful.
And now it's time for Twitter questions with the KBMOD podcast.
All right, so we're back for some Twitter, which always is interesting. We've got some good questions today. All right, so this first one is actually, a pretty reasonable question, oddly enough. At Chorbs asks, what type of Cherry MX switches would you recommend for gaming? Also, your preference of keyboard. So, I know nothing about Cherry MX switches except that they are mechanical.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it.
Go ahead, Brandon.
Yeah, so I have a DOS keyboard, which is, I believe, blue. So I have blue, Cherry MX blue switches, which are the clickiest switches you can get, pretty much. I think it's really nice for gaming. It takes a little while to get used to. It's awesome for typing, which, because I probably do more typing than I do actual gaming on this keyboard, I really like the blues. But they are pretty loud. So if you're in like an office environment, or maybe your computer's in your bedroom and like you have someone that sleeps in the same room or something, they are pretty loud. So you have to kind of factor that in. I haven't tried the brown switches, which are supposedly they're kind of clicky, but they're a little quieter. And then I forget what the other popular switch is, which is the softer one. And I haven't tried those either. So I would say if you haven't tried any of them, maybe go with the brown, because that's kind of the middle ground. And it's kind of clicky, but also not too loud. But really, if you can, I would say like go to a Fry's or Micro Center or something. Try a mechanical keyboard before you buy one, just to make sure that you like the way it feels and that you can deal with the sound it makes. Because I love mine, but I mean, it is loud. I don't care about it, but some people would.
So what do you use, Nick? What do you use?
I chose my keyboard purely on aesthetic value, just because I had like a red theme going off my computer.
Oh, so you got an Apple keyboard?
So I use the Razer Black Widow Ultimate one, but it's like the Dragon Age one, just because it glows red. And all Razer keyboards, except for their Ninja one, they use Cherry MX blues. But the silent one that they have, they use it uses a brown. In terms of like, I like it. It does the job. I don't know what else I can say about that.
I mean, it's
the best.
What does your 6GB2 have? You have blues, right?
No, they might be.
Yeah,
I don't know what
they're.
They're very special though. Like they use like metal inside of their switches to prevent the absurd clickiness that the blues are supposed to have.
Yeah, I don't know. Blues are kind of the standard as far as like when you think of mechanical keyboards, you're probably thinking of blues because they feel really nice, but they are really loud. But seriously, if you can, I mean, I would recommend a mechanical keyboard to anyone that does a lot of typing. But if you can try them out first, I would recommend it, because it'll make sure that you get the switches that you actually like the most.
Also, in another note, on PC Part Picker, our favorite site for picking out PC parts, there is now a filter for mechanical or non-mechanical keyboards. I asked Philip to add that, and he got it up within a couple weeks. So. And
we're going to lobby for him to add which type of switches they have.
Yeah, which type of switches.
When did he add the pictures of that? Has that been going on for a while?
Like a week ago or so.
Yeah, that was pretty recent.
That's fantastic.
So Brandon has a DOS keyboard to enter this guy's preference.
I ordered one.
Nick has a Black Widow Ultimate. What do you have, Fenton?
Sidewinder X4, I think is what it is. Just plain.
And John has the SteelSeries 6GB2, which is the one that I'm looking at for whenever.
I have a DOS keyboard 10 keyless coming in.
Yeah, I would say that the DOS, I think, is probably the best if you don't need frills. Like, I don't have any macro keys or anything special. It's just a really solid, good keyboard. But something like the Black Widow or the 6GB2 is better if you need some more features or you want backlighting and stuff like that.
6GB2 doesn't have any of that.
Okay, so then just the Black Widow.
Now the 7G has USB and like audio jacks on the keyboard as well, but none of it's backlit or anything.
Yeah, I have the old school G15 that you can't get anymore, and it's way better than the new G15.
Has anyone ever tried a Silico? I keep hearing good things.
Yeah, I messed with one at work. The dude who sits next to me had one.
I've also heard that Ducky is really good. Ducky keyboards. So I've had a lot of people recommend those to me.
But really, do your research around mechanical keyboards, because there are a lot of different feelings and like different features on keyboards and stuff. So try them for yourself if you can.
Or you can just get me and buy one that looks cool.
Yeah, just go for whatever's coolest.
So, next question. Coming off of last week's 100 Gypsy fight, I felt like we should do this one. At Harvey Roy asks, would you rather fight an anxious, balding King Kong with prosthetic legs for hands, or 100 manlets, all of whom lift? I don't know
what
manlets are.
manlet?
I gotta look this up.
Is a manlet just a small man?
It's just a tiny Urban Dictionary manlet. Okay. The little fella you see at the gym who tries to draw attention away from his short stature by packing on excessive muscle mass. So me, if I tried to be a bodybuilder, is what we're saying.
A Dan Dunkus.
So often waddles around like a muscly little meatball.
A little meatball.
That's the Urban
I'm
Dictionary.
going to call you a little meatball
100
from now on.
manlets. 100 manlets versus balding King Kong with prosthetic legs for hands.
I'm going to go with King Kong because he's anxious and balding, so maybe I could like soothe him, like calm him down, make him feel good.
Super insecure, and then he might run away.
I was going to say, yeah, you only with an anxious balding King Kong, you only have to worry about one of him. Like you can hurt his feelings. You can probably get him to back down. 100 manlets, guaranteed, like at least 20, 25 of them are just going to be raging. You're going to be able to, you can't do anything against that.
There's always one of those guys at the gym, and they're all assholes. They seriously are.
They got frosted tips. You know,
Nick lifts.
Dude.
Nick lifts. If you didn't know,
Nick does lift. Yeah, don't ask him if he even lifts. 'cause he
Nick's
does.
like a personal trainer as well. All he does is work out.
all of them are Guido manlets. I've been told. So they're all Italian.
just trying to get a coffee.
So this next question from Red Baron TV. Shout out to Red Baron. He's in a lot of our streams.
This is a great question, by the way. We need more questions like this.
Yeah, this is a great question. If you could choose to use anything as an alternate currency as opposed to paper money, what would it be?
Bong rips. Done.
How would you actually
Bong
transfer
Rip
ownership of that?
You
How
drive to
would a
their
bong-
fucking house and give them a bong rip.
So you'd be like, so you would go into a store and be like, I would like this pair of pants, and they're like, sir, that's 4 bong rips.
Fucking water
Then-
bong in a polar water jug in the bathtub. You have to drive to their house and take a gravity bong hit out of their bathtub. And that's how you
Are
get
there like half bong rips for like quarters and stuff? Like the equivalent of like a quarter. It's like you get you get a quarter bong rip.
That's a Pepsi bottle.
When I think of this question, I just think of like Fallout 3 caps. The caps of Fallout.
Yeah, bottle caps.
Yeah.
I would like to be paid in Doritos Locos Tacos, to be honest. That's fantastic.
Ooh,
Great.
yeah.
See?
Actually, I'd sell you shit for those right now, regardless of them being a currency or not.
So I
Show up at
would
the house.
say either Pogs or Pokemon cards.
Pogs would be legit.
Dude, I had a fucking Charizard Slammer that was worth like $75.
That's actually why I picked that, because I would be rich in both scenarios.
Yes. I had a massive collection of Pogs.
I'd go with chapsticks because I just have 1,000 chapsticks everywhere.
I would never have chapped lips.
I have 3 chapsticks on my desk right now.
That night you guys left at PAX Boston, I found because I was the last one to leave the hotel. Right?
You found chapstick on the side of the road and you used it.
No, in the hotel room, I found two chapsticks. I think one belonged to Dan.
They were probably mine.
Yeah.
I bring like 3
carry
chapsticks when I travel because I'm so scared that I'll lose one and then I won't have them.
You won't be able to ever buy another chapstick.
Yeah, I get anxious.
$19.
If I don't have a chapstick on me, I get anxious. It's bad.
You make love to those chapsticks too.
Yeah, really.
There's those people you would never share a straw with just because they Gerber up the entire straw.
Nobody wants to share a chapstick.
I would never share a chapstick with Nick Fenton.
Yeah.
I wouldn't share one
I
with
don't
you
think
either.
you're alone there.
Yeah, he is. He is not to be trifled with. So this is from Dirk Deadeye. Who would win in this fight if for some reason they decided to fight? Jesus, who is our own Cheddar Chez, also a deity in case you didn't know. The Church of Jesus airs every Thursday, by the way, if you want to worship with him. But Jesus, obviously Jesus, or Raptor Jesus.
No
Raptor
contest,
Jesus.
Raptor Jesus.
That
Raptor
is,
Jesus
like,
would
yeah.
destroy them.
I can remember the moment I saw the Raptor Jesus picture because it was somebody sprayed it up on Counter-Strike,
I
and
don't
I lost
Yeah.
my mind.
I don't see obviously Jesus actually getting into a physical altercation. I feel like he would just make you he'd rather just make you feel stupid.
Yeah.
He'd start spitting like philosophical shit, and you'd just feel dumb, and that would be the end of
Yeah,
the
but Raptor Jesus has no like capability for that. He would just tear his
He's got a
Sounds
raptor
spiky.
face.
I mean, Chez has no chance here, let's be honest.
He could ride around in his
Jesus.
motorcycle.
Jesus is fucked in this situation. Raptor Jesus wins.
Yep.
Obviously, Jesus does have some fighting at PAX experience, but I don't think that's going to carry him through on this one.
If you want to have a good like half hour, just Google image search Raptor Jesus. You're
There's
welcome.
so many
Yeah.
of them. It's the best.
So, all right. Next question is from Pat's fan 9278. What are your thoughts on the new Star Wars trilogy from Disney?
I would rather kill myself.
Really?
Never cared about Star Wars. Don't care now.
This is the thing, man. Like, it was like the premise of like all the new Star Wars like sucked. Like, why not just give them a chance? Especially
Yeah.
like everyone liked the Avengers, right? I don't think I've ever met.
Pixar, if Pixar makes it, sure.
And like Disney owns the Avengers, and that movie turned out half decent. So.
Pixar could make a movie that's an hour and a half long of just shit rotating, and I would watch it. Like actual turd just rotating, just like this, for an hour and a half. I would watch it if it was Pixar.
Here's my take. All right, George Lucas went and fucked up this series so badly that let's just give somebody else a chance to make.
I was going to say the critical
three
acclaim on
good Star
the newer
Wars
ones
movies.
is so bad that I don't know that it could really be much worse.
Yeah, I think getting George Lucas out of the picture is key for Star Wars.
And I'm sure he doesn't mind, because he has $4.5 billion now.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
I'm in
And
the
he sold.
just let it die boat.
Well, the cool thing is now
There's
Disney
money to be
has-
made, Nick.
I know, but why can't we just let it die? I just want
Disney
it to die.
has Industrial Light and Magic as a part of this deal too, which is awesome for them. So they'll have some killer special effects on the next Toy Story. But Wreck-It Ralph is awesome, by the way, to second the Pixar thing. Go see it.
I don't know if you guys also saw around the Star Wars deal that there were some articles coming out about what that might mean for Star Wars games, like in the future. And it sounds like Disney may not really be interested in Star Wars games as much, at least not putting them out themselves, but they might still license out, games. Kind of like LucasArts already did for the most part, but it's not very clear if Disney is going to really push, Star Wars games very much.
So, in other words, we all have a mixed bag.
In other words,
And
Indiana Jones 4 was great, and I hope they can repeat that success
wow,
of
dude.
making me want to murder myself in a theater. Like,
So this next question involves Barbara Walters, which is not something we have enough in these questions. At the Dialect asks, would you rather hook up with Barbara Walters or an Etch-a-Sketch from 1994?
I got a pretty great picture that Nick Fenton found as well
Yeah, of Barbara Walters.
to go along with this. Everyone wants to indulge
I Google
there.
image searched Barbara Walters, and if anybody does it, they're gonna see it right away. You know what I'm talking about. I think we'll just leave the mystique there because
No, I
we linked
linked it in
We
chat
linked it.
because you just, we need some context for this question.
Well, if you're listening to the podcast not on the stream, just look it up and you'll see it. It's there.
Oh, I'm done. I'm going to go with the Etch-a-Sketch, especially in light of this Photoshop.
I think Barbara Walters has a nice voice, so I could probably hook up with her, and then she could talk me to sleep.
Yeah.
I think
she
you
has a
gotta
good voice.
you gotta go with Barbara Walters because then you got so many ways you could take that. You could either extort her for the money, or you could do a book deal. I mean,
A book deal.
Brandon looked at all the angles before he
Yeah, Brandon's got the business side of this all looked up. What happens if you fuck the Etch-a-Sketch, though? That's like,
How does that even
how
work?
do I
How many
go-
people have fucked an Etch-a-Sketch?
I don't know, at least one. Maybe Dialect has.
Maybe Woody and
Yes.
Etch were gay, but we don't know for sure.
Yeah. You don't know. So, what about you, Nick? What would you do?
I don't know. Well, I read the question. I didn't understand what it meant. I guess I go with Barbara Walters because she's kind of hot in her old kind of way.
I think
You find her to be an attractive old woman?
What about her on the toilet? How do you feel about
How do you feel about that toilet picture? On the toilet.
It's workable.
It's workable. It's workable.
She's a gilf.
Workable is a great term to describe a woman that you would consider having sex with.
It's
Workable.
Workable.
yeah, I like Nick's approach to that question. Well thought out.
I wouldn't hate it.
So, Lee Red asks, despite the circle jerk, I don't know why that's in the question, but anyway, I have decided Black Ops 2 will be a decent console game. You're probably correct. How many of you are or aren't getting it for PC, and why?
I have it pre-ordered.
John was going to pre-order it and then forgot because he played 3 TF2.
I'm going to wait and see how much League Play gets utilized on PC before I buy it. If there's no like competitive aspect to it at all, I don't want to play it. Because like with CSGO, I only play competitive matchmaking. With TF2, I really only scrim or pug. So I feel like if it's just a pub game like Black Ops was, it's just not going to be for me. It's not going to be fun. I am esports.
We are streaming it a few times this week because Hex and Chaz are definitely getting it.
It's
so,
oh, go ahead. Finish off.
Oh, you have the Xbox version, Nick?
Yeah, it's a half decent game. To give you like a general gauge, when I first played Modern Warfare 3 for an hour, I immediately knew this game's a piece of shit, and I didn't really play it. I got to level like 30 in the multiplayer right now, and it's a half decent game. It'll hold your attention for a couple of weeks. And if you keep playing, then I guess it'll be worth your $60. The campaign's half decent. It's kind of weird going from, because I played Medal of Honor on PC and then I went to Black Ops.
Oh, what a solid game that is.
But in terms of like graphical fidelity, you go from Medal of Honor with Frostbite 2 and then you go back to console, Call of Duty. It's just, we need new consoles if you're planning to keep playing consoles. But it's, like I said, it's a half decent game. It's better than Modern Warfare 3. If you enjoyed Modern Warfare 3, I don't know why you did. It's still worth the investment.
Strong endorsement from Nick. Half decent.
Well, I have heard that
it's workable. It's workable.
It's a workable game.
It's workable.
Yeah.
I'd give this Barbara Walters out of 10.
Barbara Walters on a toilet out of 10. From what I've been reading from certain people on the interwebs is that the objective play is pretty good. So, and Black Ops,
awesome.
It was really good. So that makes me excited. But I kind of want to get it just to play with people who I know who will have it.
Yeah,
that's like kind of my motivation.
You can tell Vonderhaar really like paid attention to like the sports thing and had like a really heavy hand in it. Like with Domination now, I don't even know if they did this in Modern Warfare 3. Like there's a set timer of 5 minutes and then it switches rounds after 5 minutes, regardless of what the score is. But if you're absolutely shitting on a team and you get to 200 before the timer for each round winds down, then usually I found with like the games they just met the time limit, which is I guess cool. It kind of breaks up spawn trapping and all that kind of stuff. But like I said,
yeah,
it's workable. It's workable.
It's a workable
It's
game.
workable. So yeah, my main motivation has kind of been like Chaz and Hex are getting it. I think NFEN's getting it.
I mean, I'll probably buy it like months after everybody else does and still be better than all of them at it. So that's probably. But Chaz is surprisingly good at games, people.
Chaz is quite a good
very
FPS
good at
player.
games. Chaz is no me or Brandon, but Chaz is pretty good at games. Me and Brandon are fucking superstars.
Yeah, I'm not getting Black Ops 2. I mean, maybe I will months down the line if people are even playing it like into next year. But I don't have any plans to. And I'm surprised. Well, I'm not surprised.
I bet you any money if we're all invent playing it every Friday for like a month, you're going to be like, gotta buy it.
Yeah, no. I will. I mean, if
you're waiting to
motivation.
gauge if we're playing it, is what you're
I'm waiting to gauge if it's actually worth $60 because Modern Warfare 3 was not, and based on the stuff that I've seen so far, I'm just not impressed. All the stuff that we've talked about before about how they said they were going to be deadies, and then they're not really, and like you can't actually rent one. and Treyarch is going to host them all and try to admin them themselves. Like, it all just, for me, adds up to just not a game I want to play. And the only reason people are buying it is because it's Call of Duty. If this was another IP saying all of these things and kind of talking in doublespeak, no one will buy it and everyone will be upset. So I am upset. I'm still upset over Modern Warfare 3. And I am done with Call of Duty because I have plenty of games that are filling my time right now that I don't need to spend $60 on a game that for the past couple times I think has kind of mailed it in.
Yeah.
Hats.
But my main motivations to kind of turn around is seriously just to play with people. Because I know if like Ches and them are playing the
getting
game,
a full party on Call of Duty is always you'll always have a good time unless it's Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah, then it's just like shit.
Run support, hold tags.
Because
but
you don't really have to pay too much attention to Call of Duty while you're playing it. If you're in a pub, you can just like shoot the shit around.
Bullshit. Yeah.
Do whatever.
So
you gotta
this
vote
week,
with your wallet, and that's what I'm doing. Your support.
If you're on the fence, though, we are going to be streaming at least a couple days this week because Tuesday we're doing a kind of little launch party thing with Chaz and Hex and a few other people are going to be playing. So if you're on the fence on the PC version, because as we know the PC version always gets fucked, you'll be able to check it out then on our stream.
Or maybe you won't be able to check it out until next Thursday when it works correctly.
Yeah, when it
unlocks. It unlocks on Steam.
Don't worry, guys. You've got PC dev in your corner.
Yeah, it's true.
That was a solid.
God. I have a feeling Uber Elite or somebody else will make an FOV changer anyway, so we'll be fine.
Yes, thank you for that.
Slamtards asks, if you could be a top-tier player in any esports scene, which would you choose?
If you're going for money, League of Legends. If you don't say League of Legends for money, you're dumb. But
StarCraft without a doubt. StarCraft. Those guys are fucking celebrities in Korea, and there is not a game on the planet that takes the skill that StarCraft does.
But then you'd have to move to Korea, though.
I don't give a fuck.
That's a huge downgrade.
You would be a celebrity in Korea.
You'd be my neighbor. It could be fine. It could be neighbor.
I would go with the fighting game community. There's no money in it, but I would love to be really good.
There's money in Evo. Once a year.
Yeah, there's money in Evo.
If I wanted money, I'd go with League, and if I wanted just to enjoy myself, I'd go with Halo because I just enjoy Halo more than anything else.
I think I'm going the limited esports I've followed. I actually enjoy watching Halo. I don't know how much it makes, but I just enjoy watching Halo competitive.
Yes. See, look at this. We got two Halo people on here.
I love watching.
We're rallying.
Here's what you see when you watch competitive Halo.
Hey.
Just nades getting thrown. Just throwing grenades all day.
Team Slayer Pro, you only start with one nade now. All right, so.
Yeah, and then you pick up every nade after you kill somebody with your nade, and then you throw that nade and kill them with one. And you just keep throwing grenades.
I think I'd go StarCraft as well, just because the
celebrity.
Well, I mean, not even that so much. Just that I think the caliber of player. Like, I respect the league players and stuff. I recognize that there's a lot of complicated meta that goes on in League, but I think just StarCraft is just the hardest game, and the highest level of StarCraft is so far above anything else, in my opinion.
I want to check in with all of the former StarCraft players in 30 years and see how bad their arthritis is. It's gonna be off the charts. Like, if we could get a chart for it, it'd be
that's true. Yeah,
I guess.
They won't have fingers. They'll be dusted out. They'll just be they'll have nubs.
Isn't the average age for professional StarCraft player Korea they retire when they're 20 years old because they're just not
That's
fast
true.
enough?
Dude, you're too
If
slow.
you're good, you won't have to play for the rest of your life anyway.
That's not true. I mean, those players, a really, really successful StarCraft player will make about $300,000 in his career.
Oh man, suffering.
I mean, you get endorsements and shit after that, but I've made more than $300,000 in my life. It's really not that much.
300,000 bong rips.
Yeah, I've made 300,000 bong rips.
The best currency ever. So this next question I think we've answered before, but at Daft Passion wants to know, what is the best book you ever read?
Jurassic Park.
The Andromeda Strain.
That is also an excellent book.
I thought John was going to go Harry Potter.
Harry Potter is the most engaging series I've ever read. It is not the best book. Andromeda Strain by far.
On the Road, Jack Kerouac.
My books is limited because I just played video games during my childhood. So it was just basically whatever I was required to read for English class. So I read like Schindler's List. And that was a pretty solid book.
There you go.
Very uplifting.
Yeah, I don't know.
Book of Mormon.
I like Harry Potter books. I don't know that I could pick one, but I enjoyed the whole series.
What's your favorite book you had to read for school? I think that's a good question.
To Kill a Mockingbird or Of Mice and Men, for sure.
Catcher in the Rye is mine. I really like Catcher in the Rye.
I'd probably go maybe To Kill a Mockingbird or Great Gatsby. But I mean, that's not saying much. I didn't really enjoy either one that much. I'm just saying.
Cliff Notes. Those were your favorite Cliff Notes that you read in high school. So
Catcher in the Rye is
absolutely, yeah.
For me, Catcher in the Rye is up there.
That is my favorite.
As I lay dying.
Tetra and the Rye.
Tetra and the Rye.
If you when Life of Pi was first released, you got so much attention from the ladies if you walked around with that book in your hand. Like when I was reading it for English class, I got stopped like 3 times from like random girls I've never met before. Just like that's the trick to getting girls these days. If you like just take the most popular book during whatever time it is.
If I took 50 Shades of Grey around, I'd look like a pervert.
And like
Of Mice and Men made me cry.
It's a good book, man. It's a really good book. Ender's Game is really good. Lots of good ones in the chat here. Heart of Darkness, Bill O'Reilly for Kids.
Go the fuck to sleep.
Go the fuck to sleep. Yeah.
Only if it's narrated by Samuel L. Jackson, though.
So, all right. Next question is one of the greatest podcast questions we've ever gotten. I have to say this. At Robinator, you're a legend. If you could have anything made of scrotum, what would it be? Anything.
A bomb.
Any object. A bomb made of scrotum.
And I would like the pubes to be on there so the weed would just smell so skunk.
Jesus.
I would go with a couch. I would replace Nick's plaid couch with a scrotum couch. Because that would look fantastic.
Go with a microphone because my microphone already kind of looks like a penis anyways.
Yeah,
so
dude.
you might as well just complete
So
it.
every day you can come home and you can talk to a dick.
Yeah. How I already.
That'd be perfect with the blue snowball, because then it'd just be like a ball sack, dude.
I would replace all of my skin with scrotum.
Human being made of scrotum.
I would literally be a ball sack. I would be a giant
Buffalo
sack.
Bill. Buffalo Bill.
Buffalo Bill, dude.
It puts the
Collecting
lotion on
scrotums,
the scrotum.
dude. You'd have to kill so many people to get enough scrotums, dude. Oh my god, that would take forever.
That's a huge well.
I don't know, dude. Dude, stretch your balls right now. You can stretch that shit.
What's the surface area on an average scrotum? It's got to be like it's got to be like a square foot.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the movie Waiting?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
where they did the
bat wing, the fruit basket,
the brain.
yeah, the goat.
The goat.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Just take on guys with elephantitis. That's a good strategy if you were making something out of scrotum. Leather scrotum boots. Yeah, some Uggs made out of scrotum. Yeah. This next question is from Big Dick Based God.
I picked this one out for Brandon because I know he loves these kind of questions.
And his question is anyone honestly exited for Blops 2? Is anyone honestly exited?
Brandon, why don't you answer this question for the fucking retard who can't spell?
I gotta say, I am pretty exited for Black Ops.
It's exited my Steam inventory already, so
yeah. I'm not allowing any money to exit my wallet for it, so I'm definitely exited.
Yeah, very exited.
Do you even exit?
I've entered.
Do you even exit? Oh my god, this next question is also ridiculously good. Okay, so this one's from Big Man Nipples. Thank you for that.
That name, I don't even need the question.
Yeah. If you could turn the head of your penis into a head of someone, who would it be? So basically, if the head of your penis could be anyone's head,
Is it like the actual size of a head, or is it like a scale
No,
down?
I think it's like tiny little, like,
Okay.
it replaces the head of your penis with, like, the head of whoever.
Maybe
I'd
Barbara
go with
Walters.
Matthew McConaughey because he's just fucking gorgeous.
Does stuff come out their mouth? Is that where that hole ends up being? Or, I don't know. Samuel L. Jackson's a good one.
Nicolas Cage. I think you go Nicholas Clinton, Hillary Cage.
Yeah, Hillary Cage. I too am.
I would
moist.
go with Abraham Lincoln if I could have a small top hat for it.
Like that just
And
comes as
the-
part of it.
And the beard.
Yeah, and the beard. I actually like the suggestion of Pinhead from Hellraiser.
Oh God! Stop! Actually, no,
I have to Google that.
no. Oh God!
Hey, Hellraiser's on Netflix. If you've never seen it, go watch
Oh
it.
my
I think maybe Raptor
Yeah.
Jesus.
Raptor Jesus. Does your penis wear a little Jesus robe? Wings of Redemption, not a bad choice either. Who else? Pyramid Head from
I don't like these anymore. These are
Pyramid Head. I would have John's hat. I would consider John's hat.
It's a fucking
For it.
sweet bear.
Gooby. A Dolan head.
Goodness.
Oh my god.
Why would you want Slender Man? That's too spooky for me.
I would want the head of the school nurse from South Park that has a fetus on her head.
Oh God! Stop! Stop!
Clint Eastwood, the most badass penis in the land. To be honest. Pedo Bear, not a bad one. Bob Ross, I like that.
Damn,
Anything with an
a throw
afro
and a
actually
half.
works super well. Darth Vader. Lego Ross Gettys. Oh man. All right. And with that, we come to an end here, episode 68. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Thanks so much for TetraNinja, aka Nick, for coming out and hanging out with us for this episode.
Thank you, sir.
Is anything special happening for episode 69?
We're naked.
Yeah, we're naked.
Oh, it's Smeagol over here.
My sunflowers.
That was like the weirdest position to sit in. You're like all up in like.
I don't care.
But
They're fucking tasty
yeah.
sunflower seeds.
because Nick needs more subs, go check him out at youtube.com/TetraNinja. Someone just linked it in the chat. Thanks again for hanging out, guys. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at KBMOD Gaming. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/KBMOD. And tune in to all our streams. We stream every night, Sunday through Thursday, and sometimes on the weekends. So, thank you so much for hanging out, guys. And we will see you next week with episode 69.
Oh.
Get excited.
Later.